Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about histograms. Now histograms are really cool because not only does it give you a table representation, but it also gives you a graphical representation of what's going on in a data set. So we have our data set over here on the left, and if you actually look at the data set, you'll notice that number 5 is the only number that repeats itself. And we know that a mode is what is a number in a data set that repeats the most often. So in this case, the mode would be number 5. But histograms is a little bit different than mode. It doesn't ask for what repeats itself the most. It sort of like puts data into a chunk and see how much data fits into each chunk. And so the chunks is in Excel here is called a bin. So you think of it as a bin, or a bucket, or container of data. So the first bin is from 0 to 1, right? And then the second bin is from 1 to 6. So the first bin I don't really care about because it's obviously 0 to 1, so blah 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 blah. But the second bin is from 0 to 6. So the bin size increases by 5. So you notice that the bin number 1 here, the first bin, the numbers increase by increments of 5, whereas bin 2 increase by increments of 3. And you want to make sure that it gets big enough so that it will contain the highest number in your data set, which is 56. So bin 1 goes exactly to 56, whereas bin 2 goes all the way up to 58, just big enough to contain the largest data in the data set. So what we're going to do now is actually do the histogram. So go to Data, Data Analysis, find Histogram, click OK, and now you select the input, so the data, including the data label, and then you can click on the labels. I'm going to output, I'm going to have the bin range of the first one over here. So select the bin with the actual name tag there too, the label. The output range, I'm going to click something nearby. And here's the important part. You want to click on Chart Output, because if you do this, it will actually give you the graph. So you click OK, and you can see the histogram right there. Now I'm going to repeat the process and just change the bin to bin number 2. And the output to something else so that we have both histograms to compare with. Now I'm going to make these charts a bit bigger. Oops. There we go. I'm going to make these charts a little bit bigger so you can see them easier on the YouTubes. Now okay, good. So in the first chart here, we see that there is one number between 0 and 1. There is 6 numbers between 1 and 6. And there is 3 numbers between 6 and 11, so on and so forth. So you can see this distribution all the way to 56. And you can see that 56 is sitting by itself in the middle of nowhere. It is, you can see that this is an outlier in the distribution. And we can also say that this distribution is, positively skewed because it's going towards the right. And we can say that most of the data is concentrated between, say, 1 and 26 or something like that. Now, bummer. My mouse just died. Hold on. Alright, through the magic of video recording, I can pause and replace my batteries in the mouse and get back to the video. So, you can see here the second chart, which has smaller bin sizes, gives you a much more detailed, look at what's going on here because of the smaller bin size. And you can see that there is a little bump here on between 22 and 25, and you don't see that in the histogram with the bigger bin size. So if you want a more general trend, you can use bigger bin sizes. If you want to see more specific details, you can look at the histograms with smaller bin sizes. But you can see that it generally gives you the same feel, right, of the data. It's still the same thing. It's skewed to the right, and 50 between 55, 58. There's an outlier here. Same thing over here. So that's it for histograms. If you look at the answers part, it will look pretty much the same. I didn't zoom in the chart so you can see everything. That's it for histograms. It's a useful tool to get a good feel for the distribution of a data set. Alright, that's it for this video. I'll see you next time in correlation coefficients.